Today I'm reviewing Ween, Quebec. The album has 15 songs and it runs about 55 minutes. Most of the songs are around 4-ish, 5-ish minutes and a few being 2 or 3. The thing that's interesting about the album is it doesn't really have like one sound. It would be really hard to say what genre this is because there's a fuck ton of different genres in the album. Each song is pretty different from one another and there's not really one or two that sound similar. So it's just this all over different random shit all over the album. The intro, It's Gonna Be a Long Night, is a very good intro for the album. It's pretty straightforward. It's a more basic rock song compared to a lot of the songs on the album. I think it works well for the intro. It's almost telling you to prepare for all the random shit on the album, which I think it works really well. And then the outro, If You Could Save Yourself, You'd Save Us All, is amazing. It is my favorite song in the album, and I think it's extremely emotional, probably the most emotional on the album. It's also really inspiring. It has some hope in it, and there are a lot of good songs on this album, and the vocals are kind of different depending on the track, which makes it really interesting. But with an album being all over the place like Quebec is, it also means sometimes it's hit or miss, and sometimes it's so weird it's funny, which I think is on purpose, like the track The Fucked Jam, because it basically plays this beat and then it'll stop and then it'll play the beat again, then it'll stop, and then it kind of repeats that like 2-3 times, and then one time it plays it but you can notice it's missing like I think the drums from it, and it's just funny. I don't know if that's on purpose, but yeah, most of the time Ween seems to be taking more of a relaxed approach. You know, they're not taking shit too seriously, but then sometimes the songs with the subject matter does seem to be more in depth and more serious than normal, and because of this it kind of just feels a bit all over the place. I understand that's the point. From what I've read online, one of the members of Ween, his wife divorced him during the making of the album, which kind of explains a lot of some of the songs' deeper meanings. It's a bit more dark, and those are the songs on the album that I like a lot more. My favorite songs on the album are definitely the outro. It's amazing. I love that song. Chocolate Town, The Argus, Tried and True, and there's just some tracks that I just don't really think. Yes, they're different, they're interesting, sometimes they're funny, and they're kind of experimental, but I don't really think they are that great. And with the idea of the album being like, let's just do a fuck ton of random shit, it means it's not super consistent. So some tracks are really good, some tracks are kind of average, which means from start to finish, the album's kind of interesting, but all right. Tracks like Alkin Road and Captain, which are more slower, I don't think they're that great. I think they kind of slow the pace of the album down, and they're just not as interesting as other of the more experimental tracks that I don't necessarily love, but I appreciate them being there, like The Fuck Jam. I'm gonna give Ween, Quebec, a 8 out of 10. So that's what I thought about the album. Do you like the album? Do you not like the album? Tell me in the comments below, or say some other shit. It doesn't really matter. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. To make you happy, to push you along.